All right, let's just start off talking about today's high temperatures because it is some of the hottest we've seen of the season for some locations like us here in Flagstaff, checking in at 88 degrees. And that happened in a hurry out there this morning before things clouded over and cooled off a little bit. 105 up in Page. Sedona at 97, but Prescott, notice 99 degrees. It's very rare that Prescott gets hotter than Sedona, and what that tells me is Sedona clouded up a little bit out there this afternoon while Prescott did not, and therefore it got very hot down there in Prescott at 99 degrees. I think that is the warmest temperature of the year. You know, and if we didn't get this monsoon type of cloud cover, I think we'd be right around 90 degrees every day here in Flagstaff. But as we get into July and we get the cloud cover and the cooling rains, fortunately, we don't warm up like that. Average for this time of year, 81 degrees, record high, 92 set just last year. We're only 4 degrees off that. And let's just talk a little bit about precipitation. We know it's been a very dry year. Here we're looking at the very dry water year that goes all the way back to September 1, includes last fall. But really, it's 2013 here that's just turned out to be super brutally dry. Remember, it was a terrible winter, and we've had a lack of rain here in the spring as well. 2014 first half is over now. So we look at the precipitation, only 3.21 inches here in the calendar year. Normal 8.49, 38% average. And that's the 8th driest in about 115 years of record keeping. And I think Prescott, I saw, was at the 3rd driest, and they are at 20% of average. Hopefully things are changing. We're definitely getting into a season. Yeah, it's summer, but we're moving into the monsoon season. Quick look out into the Pacific, and I just want to show you a couple things. The Pacific storm track now moving way, way up into Canada, and that keeps the westerly flow. Remember, just a week ago, we were talking about strong westerly winds and spring storms. That's all over, and we're getting a lot of moisture moving in out of the tropics. We also have a couple tropical storms here to talk about. This is Douglas and Alita. They're not going to come into the picture for us, but there's all this moisture down in Mexico as things start to heat up down there, and that's going to come into play for us here as we move through the next several days. Okay, here's a look at it right now. Notice thunderstorms breaking out right along the Mogollon Rim country today, but very little reaching the ground. I think the Grand Canyon got 0.06 of an inch. Here's a look at the radar. Here we are in Flagstaff, and notice over the last few hours it's starting to shrink all the green. That's because all the showers and thunderstorms are dissipating, and I think it's going to really quiet down here as we get into our overnight hours. We track the dew points here as we move towards the monsoon. Remember the old criteria of dew points of 55 degrees for 3 days, beginning of monsoon, but back in 2008, we changed that to just be the monsoon runs from June 15th all the way to September 30th. That was the National Weather Service, but still a great benchmark to look at these dew points. Right now, dew points are all in the mid-30s. When you get the dew points here in Flagstaff into the 40s, that's when we're going to start seeing some wetting rains. We take the radar and satellite down into Mexico. This is the moisture we want to see move into the state. High pressure's moving in off the Pacific today. It's just off to our west. Tomorrow it's on top of us, and then as we get into Thursday, it moves into a favorable position around the Four Corners, and that starts to tap into some of this moisture out of Mexico. So we'll see an increase in the monsoon activity ramping up here as we make our way towards the end of the week, holiday on Friday, and into the holiday weekend. Okay, overnight tonight, 55 degrees, partial clearing. There's a lot of cloud cover out there right now. Tomorrow, 85. I think similar to today, sunny start, and then we start to get these thunderstorms. Still light on the precipitation. Those dew points just aren't there yet, so we get a lot of evaporation before that rain hits the ground. Okay, here's the forecast temperatures out there tomorrow. Another hot one statewide, especially if you don't cloud over, and I'm getting a little bit more in the way of rain activity in the forecast here as we make our way into the 4th of July holiday on Friday, and therefore we lower our temperatures a little bit and continue with a fairly moderate monsoon type pattern here as we get into this coming weekend.
Well, some exciting weather there. Thanks, Lee.